Well, SABC News International editor Sophie Mokoena joins us on the line for more analysis. Sophie, a very good afternoon to you. What is your analysis in the Hamas attack on Israel?
Well, what we do know is that Israel has started on its offensive, and they have also given permission to the military to start the ground attacks. And therefore, we saw more attacks leveled at Gaza and more casualties. We saw countries responding to what happened this morning, with the allies of Israel all condemning the action and also saying that they will support Israel. President Joe Biden now issuing a statement that he spoke to the leader of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, assuring him that they will support Israel. On the other hand, you have countries such as Saudi Arabia, countries such as Qatar and Egypt and all of those Arab countries saying that this must stop. However, pointing a finger or putting a blame on Israel, saying that the occupation and the aggressive occupation that started early this year has led to this. But Saudi Arabia calling on the United Nations, the international community, to come up with a credible mediation process or peace process that will lead to the two-state solution. And as the Prophet indicated earlier on, you know that during the UNGA General Assembly in New York few days ago, the Prime Minister of Israel had indicated that they are about to agree to a peace process or strengthening relations with Saudi Arabia, with the hope that this will lead to more better relations with other countries in the Middle East. But unfortunately, this has now happened, and clearly the division again in the Middle East is going to intensify. We saw Hezbollah already moving towards the border between Palestine and Israel, and therefore we expect a kind of intensified attack tonight.
Yes, Sophie, as I'm talking to you right now, we're looking at visuals from Gaza there, and it looks like the attacks are continuing. So, I mean, back to that peace process. I was speaking to an analyst earlier who says that there needs to be some sort of formidable process or talks that are going to kickstart negotiations that are going to lead to a peaceful end to the conflict. What do you think is the solution that is needed here?
Well, clearly the option is a peace process. And as Saudi Arabia has indicated, you need credible people to mediate or to lead that process or to bring those parties together. But unfortunately, the people who have a better hand and perhaps influence to these countries, they also have interest in terms of some supporting Israel and others supporting the Palestinian cause as part of the Arab nation. So it is a very complex issue, this one. I remember at some point in time, long time ago, when Nelson Mandela was still alive, when I was talking to him, the former president on retirement, we were just talking about peace and security in the world. He pointed out to me that that problem is so difficult, and it looks like it will take years to be resolved. Here we are, even today, there's no solution. We know that many people warned when the war broke out in Eastern Europe between Russia invasion in Ukraine. People were saying, you now have this conflict, but you have another conflict that has been there years and years and years, and nobody is supporting a call for the freedom of the Palestinian. But the international community, these rich nations with lots of military wear and military budgets, particularly the United States of America, was quick to support Ukraine. So that's the problem here. The unjust world, the biased world, it depends who you are. Unless you are a good girl or a good boy for the North, and particularly America, you will always struggle. And therefore, here we are. We are back here, and I can't see a solution.
All right,
found
Sophie.
Perhaps by any of the big power players in the world in relation to this Middle East question.